What up, guys? Your boy Quake back with a brand new episode of the Diverse Mentality Podcast, number 281, powered by the one and only Golden Eagle Energy Drink. Get your Golden Eagle at drinkgoldeneagle.com/DMP. They sponsored all of season 4 of the podcast, so please support them, shout them out, show them love. I appreciate it. I've been exhausted working literally all day, so if I seem a little bit tired because of that, I've been doing all kinds of things. So finally get a chance to record the podcast. It's really late at night, but I'll make it happen regardless. Now, there's going to be a lot of me addressing Rick Ross in terms of Joe Budden podcasts. Parks specifically, because Parks is stupid and uneducated, basically. We'll get into that a little bit later, but I'm going to address that a little bit later. I'm going to be addressing a lot of things relating to Rick Ross. And it's going to sound like hate, to be honest with you. I'm not, people, I've said it on social media, people are saying, why you hating on Rick Ross, hating. I'm just going to be speaking facts. We're going to be going over the facts. I took hours upon hours of my time to break down a lot of the numbers, to go over this narrative that Rick Ross got so hot after the 50 Cent beef that all of a sudden 50 fell off. And I'm going to prove to you guys that that's not the case. And, women lie, men lie, numbers don't. So at this point, if you don't believe the numbers, I don't know what to tell you. You can go off your own beliefs and whatever culture and what you experience when you were going outside and going at clubs, whatever. I'm not going to argue that shit because that's not provable. That's just your experience. We're going to be talking about numbers specifically. I don't give a fuck about where you went, how long you've heard a record in the club from this guy. I don't care about any of that shit. Okay? Because at the end of the day, the numbers are what speak the facts. What are people listening to in their earbuds when nobody else can hear it? What are people listening to in their car when nobody else can hear it? What are people listening to in the gym when nobody else can hear it? What are people listening to in their house when they're chilling when nobody else can hear it? That's what I'm going to be breaking down. I don't give a fuck about what record gets played in the club, how it moved the culture, what kind of this and that. I don't give a fuck. That doesn't apply to this, okay? It doesn't apply. When people say this type of shit, it doesn't equal. So before we get into all that, let's just go over the regular news, and then at the end, I'll, do my scorching session, and I will absolutely cook Parks from the Joe Budden podcast, and anybody on that podcast that wants to debate about Rick Ross doing anything remotely of destroying 50's career. Because that narrative, the fact that that platform that big spews that narrative out there makes no sense. And I'm going to prove to you guys why that narrative has never made sense. I don't give a fuck what type of verse Rick Ross is spitting. I don't give a fuck what artist he's working with. None of that bullshit. Period. Numbers. All I give a fuck about is numbers. If you don't care about the numbers, then I don't know what to tell you. I guess, go out to clubs and hear whatever music you want to hear. I don't know. Because we can't dictate off of your experience and your opinion. We can dictate off of numbers. Yes, can numbers be skewed? Can streamings be boosted? All this and that? Of course. But, hey, that's the best gauge we have. We don't have championships. We don't have a voting committee where it dictates this is the best. The only award show is Billboard Music Awards that actually dictates, hey, this album sold the most, they get an award. That's really about it. But at the end of the day, we don't know what's really being streamed, what's not. So I'm going to be breaking down everything from 2009 till now, 50 versus Rick Ross. Breaking down whose career was still thriving. So before we get into all, let's just get into regular news, man. Rest in peace to Mister Cee. His cause of death has been revealed. Let's go over the article. Mister Cee's cause of death has reportedly been revealed by his family after the hip-hop legend passed away at the age of 57 on April 10th. An exclusive all-hip-hop article for Monday, April 15th. The pioneer and DJ's family shared the medical examiner of New York City determined that the cause of his death was diabetes related to coronary artery/kidney disease. On behalf of LeBurn, Wilson, Calic's families, we want to thank everyone for the outpouring of love and support from our brother, uncle, nephew, Calvin, DJ Mister Cee, LeBurn, in a wake of his ultimately passing. It's a huge loss for our entire family. the borough of Brooklyn, and the entire hip hop community, the family said in the statement to hip hop, to all hip hop. Yeah, we went over this, I think, last episode or maybe 2 episodes ago. Yeah, cause of death, diabetes and artery kidney disease. Unfortunately, a lot of, there's a lot of, heart issues and just kidney issues and that people pass away from. It's a lot has to do with diet, especially in America. The diet is disgusting. About 80 to 90% of the food, actually, I want to say 80. I don't want to say 90 because that's a little bit too much. About 80% of the food that you get in grocery stores is either processed or filled with disgusting ingredients. When you buy food, the best thing that you want to do, and I've been actually researching this for the past 4 or 5 months, just watching a lot of, documentaries, interviews, doctors, physicians, whatever. It's really this simple. The best food that you want to buy is the one that has the less amount of ingredients. And obviously things that are not boxed in. Like if you're buying full course meals that are, in packaging, boxing, obviously you're getting some of the worst food possible. Like bread, for example. There's a lot of enriched, it says enriched or, bleached or enriched? Unbleached or enriched, whatever. Enriched is one of the words. They say enriched, when really that just means that a lot of chemicals have been on it or they've stripped it a lot of its nutrients. And you don't want bread like that. You want bread that's sprouted, that's whole wheat. Sprouted whole wheat's obviously the best. You want bread made out of, almond flour, things that are really, really organic, natural. And people explain, people kind of complain like, oh, but if I get this kind of bread, it's way more expensive. When you really look at it, it's not. The average bread goes for about $3-4. Maybe you can get one for $2, the worst kind, but let's just say $3.50, right? That bread that's a little bit more upper echelon, that's a little bit more organic, clean, goes for $6, right? Maybe double the price. And I know that might seem like crazy. Okay, double the price. If I factor that in with everything that I'm purchasing, obviously if I get $150 worth of groceries, it's going to be $300. That's usually not the case. When you really look at it, most of the time you end up with maybe a little bit more expensive, maybe $20, $30, $40 more expensive. But what people don't factor in is over time, this adds up. When you add all these chemicals and bad stuff to your body, you eventually end up in the hospital. And what do hospital bills cost? $50,000, $100,000, $150,000, $200,000, $500,000, $1 million. There's been people who have $1 million hospital bills. Because our healthcare sucks in America for the most part. So when you really look at it, you're investing early into your body to make sure you get the right nutrients versus, later on dealing with the hospital thing and then being sick and your body hurting and all these other things. When I went for Ramadan, when I was fasting, I reduced a drastic amount of carbohydrates and a drastic amount of sugar. And that sugar reduction, because I would drink a lot of energy drinks, with a lot of sugar in them, which energy drinks are fine, but I was consuming them a little bit too much. If you can control it, you're good. If you have one Golden Eagle energy drink, how many sugar is this? Let me see. 27. That's not too bad. You have one can, not bad. 27 grams of sugar, not bad. But if you're having 2, 3, 4 cans a day, which I sometimes was doing, depending on my schedule, that adds up, man. You're adding 100 grams, 120, 130 grams of sugar as time goes on. And that's going to affect you. That's what causes diabetes and all these other diseases. So after I reduced the sugar, reduced the carbs, when I tried an energy drink, it literally tasted like a liquid can of sugar because my taste buds had adjusted to me not having a lot of sugar. So your taste buds adjust. So what I'm saying with that is I got a black coffee with no sugar, no creamer, nothing. If you would have told me 3 months ago that I would have got something like that, I would have been like, you're fucking crazy. That's disgusting. But you take that black coffee, it has no sugar, no creamer, everything healthy in it, just caffeine, potassium, and I believe maybe a little bit of calcium. That's it. That's what coffee's supposed to do. Now, if you want to add some sweetener, a little bit of creamer, cool. Just don't add a lot. When you get these like iced caramel macchiatos or whatever that Dunkin' or Starbucks or any of these whatever coffee places offer, You look at the sugar intake, it's 70, 80, 100, 120 grams, sometimes 150, sometimes 200 grams of sugar in a day. You know how ridiculous that is? That affects you. It's going to attack you. It's going to kill you slowly. At the time, you might not care because you're young, you're fit, or whatever the case may be, but that's going to attack you slowly, and then boom, you end up dying. Sorry for going on this rant about all this stuff, but, you know, as time goes on, I learn more and more as I get older. I'm about to turn 29 right now. I know that's not really that old, but it catches up with you, man. I started getting a belly where I looked like I was pregnant, and it's like, what the fuck is going on? I'm over here skinny as shit, and I got a pregnant belly. You know, that affects you as time goes on. I've been working out, so thankfully that belly's starting to go away. I'm starting to see my abs again, but, you know, health is wealth, guys. Like, literally, when you get sick and you're in the hospital, all you care about is feeling better. That's it. You don't care about money, cars, girls, whatever, nothing. You don't care about any of that stuff. You just care about feeling better. So my message to everybody under Mister Cee of his passing, you know, through kidney failure, disease, just man, you don't have to change your whole lifestyle of how you eat. Just adjust slowly here and there. You know, instead of getting this type of creamer for your coffee, get something that's a little bit more healthy, less ingredients, a lot of these seed oils, sunflower seed oils, canola oils, what else? Sunflower seed, canola, flaxseed oils, lots of these seed oils that you see. You want to get oils. You want to get food that has oils of avocado, extra virgin olive oil, or avocado oil. Those are the two healthiest oils that you want to get. And a lot of foods don't have that, man. You look through a lot of foods, you'll see in the ingredients sunflower seed because it's cheap. The cheaper it is, and sugar is cheap. Those two things are cheap. So they're going to add a lot of it, and it's going to affect your body, and it's going to mess you up. And it messes up a lot of things in your life. You feel fatigued, you have brain fog, you feel all kinds of things because of the stuff that you're putting in your body. And your body is amazing. It can adjust, it can heal itself if it has the proper nutrients. So sorry for going on this rant, but I just, you know, if I wish I could, honestly, I need to get a nutritionist on this podcast because, you know, I would really love to talk about that stuff. Like I like to change people's lives financially, health-wise, like mainly health-wise, because once you get the health perfect, not even perfect, just get it right, 80% right. And nobody's saying like, hey, you can't have cheat days. Like just do it in moderation. Like I'll have a day where I'll get pizza from whatever, Papa John's. It's not the healthiest, but hey, you know what? I did well, worked out 2-3 weeks. Let me enjoy a pizza for once in a while, just to have that feeling enjoying it. But it's a moderation, very simple. So I want to get a nutritionist on here for sure. Like I need to do that for the podcast because as much as I love hip hop and all this stuff, a lot of people in hip hop are passing away early, drugs, whatever the case may be, unhealthy lifestyle. You know, hip hop audience listening to that, I would love for that because, you know, the narrative of all this, like, you know, drinking, alcohol, and partying 24/7, never sleep, like that stuff is going to catch up to you, man. It's going to affect you really bad. So, you know, caught up to Mister Cee, caught up to a lot of people, man. A lot of hip hop legends that could have been here still to this day had they just taken care of their health. So, rest in peace to Mister Cee, man. Sad situation, but we'll keep our eye out, and if anything else happens. Yungeen Ace, man. This is a guy that I really highly regarded as a great artist in 2021, I want to say. 2022, somewhere around there. Dropped a lot of great projects, but it seems like he's kind of fallen off musically, and he's personally in his life fallen off. So, let's go over the article. Yungeen Ace has been arrested for possession of a gun in Jacksonville Beach, Florida, and is currently being held in custody. According to arrest records obtained by Hip Hop DX, the rapper was arrested on Monday, April 15th at 8:15 p.m. after sheriffs pulled over his rented SUV over for failing to stop at a four-way intersection. He was initially arrested for failing to produce a valid driver's license, but a subsequent search of the car revealed that the rapper had 7 guns, which he is not allowed to carry in the state of Florida as a convicted felon. Yungeen Ace was scheduled to be arraigned in Duval County courtroom on Tuesday, April 16th, but he is still shown as incarcerated as of this writing. So why does he have 7 guns? Here's the reason why. He got shot up in a car with his friends, almost died, literally the whole car. Everybody died in the car besides him. Paranoid after that, rides around with protection. Really that simple. I know it's not right. He's a convicted felon. He shouldn't be having those guns. But, hey, PTSD kicks in. You don't really give a fuck. You'd rather catch the charge than, what did Roddy Ricch say? I'd rather, what do you say, man? The bars. I'd rather 12 judge me, or rather 6 judge me and 12 carry me, or something like that. I don't remember the bars. But yeah, it's protection, man. But at the end of the day, failing at a stop at a four-way intersect, that actually happened to me when I was like 15 years old. This is when I first got my manual. I got my brother gave me his 2001 Mitsubishi Eclipse manual. And I had the car for roughly 4 or 5 months, so I knew how to drive manual. But I didn't stop at a four-way. I kind of just went. The cop caught me, and I just lied to the cop and was like, listen, I'm new to manual. I'm still learning manual driving, so he let me off with a warning, which is a great excuse. But some people don't stop at four-ways really, like, fully. Like, at stop signs, you got to stop all the way to 0, which is annoying. But, hey, man, you got to do it. If a cop's there, they're going to catch you. So that's the case with this situation. So we'll keep our eyes posted. Hopefully, he gets out of this situation and hopefully starts making some more music, man, because a lot of the music that he's released recently hasn't really been what I've enjoyed, considering I had him, like, I think in my top 5 of albums in 2021, I believe, maybe 2022. Great artist, man. I think he's got a lot of talent. He just has to stay away from the trouble. So we'll keep our eyes posted and see what happens moving forward. NBA YoungBoy, we were just talking about him actually last podcast. He was going back and forth with Finesse 2 times, and then responded to Kodak Black for clowning him for painting his nails. Well, all that social media stuff just got more attention to him, and now he's arrested. Not a good look. So let's go over the article. NBA YoungBoy's legal woes have gone from bad to worse after the rapper was arrested on multiple charges while serving house arrest in Utah. According to jail records obtained by Hip Hop DX, the Baton Rouge native was booked into Cache County Sheriff's Office on Tuesday evening, April 16th. He has been charged with a string of weapons, drug, and fraud charges, including pattern of unlawful activity, procuring or attempting to procure drug/prescription, identity fraud, forgery, possession of other controlled substance, and possession of a dangerous weapon by a restricted person. No bail has been set yet. Update, according to Fox 13, YoungBoy's arrest came after multiple agencies, including the FBI, the Secret Service, and SWAT team, conducted a search warrant on his Utah home. Officials said the pattern of unlawful activity charge includes violations of Utah Controlled Substances Act, the Identity Fraud Act, and fraud. They added that the ongoing investigation into criminal conduct is underway. YoungBoy has been confined to a Salt Lake City mansion since late 2021. Damn, it's a long time. After being indicted in his native Louisiana on charges of felon in possession of a firearm. Yeah, he's been locked up in that Utah area for a minute, man. This is definitely not going to help his case. I don't know what's going to happen from here, man. This guy hasn't been able to really relax from all these charges, man. It's been really ridiculous at this point. So we'll keep our eyes posted and see what happens moving forward. Hopefully, he gets out of a lot of these situations. Gunna, who's gearing up to drop a new album, decided to do kind of magazine photo shoot with Double XL. So he talked about his relationship with Young Thug and speaking to rappers who have dissed him since his release, because a lot of rappers have claimed he's a snitch and, is somebody that, rats, and he's not somebody you should work with. But other people don't really care. They kind of moved on. It's not like the 6ix9ine situation where he actually testified and went in court, and, it's a whole different situation. But Gunna hasn't done that. He just got released early, and he got actually removed from, like, the list of, like, witnesses and people that were going to get interviewed in the YSL RICO trials. So he's not part of that anymore completely. So I guess the only person that, like, Young Thug has Gunna's career in his hands, because if Young Thug says, I don't fuck with this guy, he's a rat, he's a snitch, pretty much nobody else is going to fuck with Gunna. Unless Gunna just does his solo thing with, like, Fuck You Mean, those type of records, and just drops hit after hit, then people can't really deny it. But at that point, he doesn't need Young Thug or anybody else. He can do his own thing. So let's go over the article. Gunna has opened up about his relationship with Young Thug for the first time since his controversial plea deal in the YSL RICO case. Speaking of Double XL, the Atlanta rapper was explicitly asked about his current relationship with his longtime collaborator who remains behind bars on trial. He answered semi-vaguely, "It's the same. It's love. Always. Our relationship is our relationship." Gunna was also asked about the accusations that he snitched on Thug to secure his release from jail and how the likes of Lil Durk, 21 Savage, and Lil Baby have labeled him a rat. He said, "None of those rappers, they're not on the case. They don't know legally what's going on." The rapper also revealed he's spoken to some of his critics in the rap game, saying, "I talked to maybe 2 or 3 of those guys. I talked to them on the phone." While not revealing the nature of the conversations, Gunna said everything was done peacefully. So Young Thug has been in jail since his arrest alongside Gunna in May 2022, has not yet addressed his relationship with the YSL signee. Despite no public comment, Thug has promoted Gunna's work on social media, even though some thought he was dissing him, longtime friend, on his Business album last year. So vaguely answered the question. Didn't throw anybody under the bus. Very professionally done by Gunna. And he's dropping a new album, I think, called, let me see, it's called Wanna, something like that. Everybody gives him a W on the shit. What was the album called? Fuck You Mean? One of One, meaning one like O-N-E of W-U-N. One of One. Gunna. So we'll keep our eye posted on that album. I'm sure it's going to have some type of hits on there. Because I think Gunna was, Lil Baby, I thought was this great artist. And then I think Gunna really helped Lil Baby in his career. Once Gunna got out of the picture, it seems like Lil Baby fell the fuck off, musically. And he was on a roll. Lil Baby at one point was, people are comparing him to Lil Wayne's run. And I don't blame him. Lil Baby has a chance. I just don't understand. Right now his music sounds a lot repetitive. Da Baby, which is ironic. Da Baby did a freestyle and everybody loving that freestyle and it sounded really good, but a lot of the music repetitive. Same with Lil Baby. It's it's hard to get over because you just hear the same type of sound over and over again. And you're like, does this guy have any fucking different sounding things? Is he versatile at all in any way, shape, or form? But, we'll keep our eyes posted. But I think Gunna did a lot of the work for Lil Baby. I'm not going to say that he did, but the reality, that's what it's looking like, at least. Not the reality, but that's what it's looking like. So we'll keep our eyes posted. There seems to be something in the air when it comes to hip-hop. What's going on right now is a lot of people are beating their chest and talking about being the greatest, and a lot of people are dissing each other, from Drake to Rick Ross to Kendrick to Weeknd to A$AP Rocky, and all these people going back and forth. Well, one of my favorite lyrical rappers has decided to make it clear that he will literally destroy any rapper if they choose to step up to the plate against him. And that is, of course, Lupe Fiasco. Now, you're probably wondering, why did Lupe Fiasco say this? Why did he insert himself in all the stuff that's going on in hip-hop right now that I've covered for the past 2 weeks of everybody dissing each other, 2-3 weeks at least? There's a history to it. Lupe Fiasco was performing at Coachella, and while out there, he was with Tyler, the Creator, and a bunch of different artists. He's performing and decided to make it clear that, hey, anybody wants to go against me, I will destroy them. And before we play that video, I want to go kind of into the history of why he actually said this, because some people are confused. Why is he beating his chest now? What's going on? This is the history of it. When J. Cole apologized to Kendrick Lamar, Complex Magazine decided to release a list of rappers that apologized to Kendrick Lamar, and Lupe Fiasco was on that list. So let's go over Lupe Fiasco's part of this article and see why Lupe Fiasco apologized to Kendrick Lamar. In the article, it says, in January 2018, in a series of deleted tweets, Lupe Fiasco responded to a fan's question and argued that Kendrick shouldn't be considered a top-tier lyricist. And this is what Lupe said. I'll put it to you like this. K-Dot is not a top-tier lyricist to me and my standards when it comes to punchlines and bars. His overall lyrics are good. His story's phenomenal. But punchline and tundras, lyrically, I don't see it. He continued on and said, also, the only issue that the world thinks I have with K-Dot, and I actually do, is that I think his control verse was whack and super overhyped to be a verse claiming you are the best rapper. It was very weird. I was told it was just bait, but still. Then a few months went by, and this is where Lupe Fiasco backtracked and basically apologized what he said to Kendrick Lamar. And he did this in an Instagram video, and he said he was sorry for engaging and talking about other artists' career. He said, maybe I should have just left it alone, even though my impetus was the control verse. I mean, you put yourself out there like that, so you opened up yourself to critique. I apologize for even engaging and talking about guys' careers. I'll never do that shit again. What's funny is after that apology, literally 2 years later in 2020, he decided to tweet out that he's a better lyricist than Kendrick and he's better than Kendrick. And then Punch, who's TDE's president, tweeted out LOL, laughing at the situation. So he kind of backtracked, but then he, stuck his chest out again in 2020 because in a lot of people's eyes, they compare Kendrick and Lupe Fiasco as the same artist. Like Lupe was the first Kendrick, if that even makes sense. But technically, since Lupe came out first, it would be Kendrick is the second Lupe, or whatever the case may be. It would be the other way around. But Lupe, obviously gets an insane amount of respect lyrically. I personally think he's one of the best, and I'm willing to put him up against one of the best ever in hip-hop, whoever people think is the best. I mean, I think he did his part in cooking Royce the 5'9", and Royce can rap as well. So continuing on, once Complex released that article of all those artists apologizing to Kendrick Lamar, Lupe reacted to it, and Lupe was not happy. He said, relax, yo. He said, I wasn't apologizing to him, LOL. I was sorry about the entire shindig because it was such a waste of time and energy in something that I actually had nothing to do with me. Keep my name clear. I fear no rapper of any kind on any time. K-Dot solid, but y'all need to chill, LOL. And here we are now, fast forward to now, and Lupe Fiasco is performing at Coachella, and this is what he had to say.
Hear me clearly when I say this, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart when it comes to this art. And I quote, I will battle any motherfucking rapper. For Tyler motherfucking ass, they go for you, they go for this bad bunny looking motherfucker right here. I don't care. I do this shit for real, dog. Stop putting my name in shit unless you want the flames and shit. I am not playing.
Drake or Kendrick?
Drake.
Drake is a better rapper than Kendrick. Do you like? Okay, so is it by a long shot?
Not really. Drake got bars, which you know.
Okay,
and you know that, so I ain't capping when I say
for sure.
Right. So I would give it to Drake. I think Kendrick's a better technically skilled performer, but I don't think he's a better rapper.
Perform.
Yeah, that's a difference.
So okay, so you ain't never heard Kendrick and felt like he was one of the most
like he was what?
Like
you cut
like
up,
he
bro.
was one of the most dangerous rappers.
No.
So Kendrick puts no.
You ain't never felt that.
Yes, I have. I felt he was very dangerous.
Man, you can hear the passion in his voice. I hope, somebody just spars more with Lupe, man. These are the two artists that I felt like battle rapping, or just getting into beefs or battles, I wish they would have done more of. And that's Lupe and Lloyd Banks. Those two, to me, are some of the best lyrical rappers of all time. Lloyd Banks completely cooked William Roberts, a.k.a. Rick Ross, in that Officer Down record. And Lupe obviously cooked, in my opinion at least, Royce the 5'9", and can cook various amounts of rappers, and he's done it previously before. So, Lupe's released, I think, some of the best hip-hop albums of all time. Lupe Fiasco's The Cool is one of my favorites. Also, I actually like Lasers. I know a lot of people kind of, backtrack on that and don't like it, but that, as well as Tetsuo and Youth, and all those other albums, Droga's Wave, and Food and Liquor 2. So he's dropped a very consistent body of work, and he can drop hits if he really wanted to. Like, if that was his main focus, Lasers proved that. I mean, he dropped 2 back-to-back hits like it was nothing. So I'm excited, man. I hope this leads to something, because Lupe, you know, I think if he gets back in the forefront and showcases his talent like that, you know, endless amounts of bars will be flying, man. As much as I like Drake and Kendrick, Lupe I like to a different extent when it comes to lyrically. He's somebody that I think could easily take on Kendrick and Drake like it's nothing. You know, but, you know, Kendrick and Drake have more of a star power, so, you know, they would have more of a bigger fan base that would, you know, go harder for them. But other than that, there's really nothing. Lupe's had the hits. He just hasn't been in the limelight like that. I mean, the guy does karate. The guy does like all kinds of stuff, man. Samurai swords and like I remember on Twitter people were asking him, "Have you done this? Have you done this?" Is like a ongoing thing on his Twitter, and he showed video proof and photos that he's met everybody, done everything. It's like this guy's lived like millions of lives into one person. It's sort of like DMX, you know, rest in peace to him. So, yeah, we'll keep our eyes posted if anything happens, but Lupe's not the one to play with, man. That's somebody that I would bet my whole entire house on, literally. Him and Lloyd Banks, those are the two. If they had to go against each other, it'd be way too hard for me to decide who would win, but that would be probably one of the best battles ever in hip-hop. But Drake and Rick Ross, a lot more has been said since the last podcast. These two are going back and forth on Instagram. No new music has come out. Rick Ross has taunted Drake to respond. Drake, I don't think, gives a fuck about Rick Ross. He's been taunting Kendrick. All he cares about is the main battle, which is Drake versus Kendrick, and that's all we should care about. We shouldn't care about Drake versus Future. We shouldn't care about Drake versus A$AP Rocky. We shouldn't care about Drake versus Rick Ross. We should care about Drake versus Kendrick Lamar, period. So I don't care that these two haven't released music. They're going back and forth on social media. Rory and Mal on their podcast revealed Drake's response when he heard Rick Ross's diss. So let's play that clip.
I'm trying not to, like, you know, hit Drake and like see where he's at. I'm like, but he hits me. So like, okay, you want to open a text conversation right now? Because I'm staying off your line. I'm thinking like you got shit going on. I don't know what you doing over there at the crib. So I said, yo, how you feel about, you know, the Ross record? I'm really trying to gauge him. Like, damn, he kind of stepped in. He was like, he said he was richer than me, and I turned it off.
But that's not what Ross said, though. The reason why Ross changed his voice when he said that bar is because he was impersonating Drake. Like, basically, Drake is saying, I got more money than you. And Ross is like, fuck you want me to say? Like,
yeah.
No, I got this house. Like, fuck you want me to stay?
He should have.
Like,
Yeah, I get where the lady's coming from on the show, but listen, man. Drake closed the deal for $400 million with the Universal Music Group. I don't give a fuck if that deal was a $400 million loan, which a lot of people are saying it was a loan. Record labels don't give you that money unless they pay it back. But here's the thing. If you know anything about loans, period, they only give you a loan if you're bringing in that kind of money. That's it. No label will give an artist $400 million loan if you're just some, no disrespect to this artist, Chingy. Let's just say you're Chingy. You think Chingy's going to get a $400 million loan? Come on, guys. Rick Ross is not going to get a $400 million loan. Never. I will 100% guarantee Rick Ross has never seen a $100 million loan for his music. Maybe. Okay, I'll give $100 million. Maybe. That's a huge stretch. Rick Ross probably has been offered $30, $40, $50, maybe $60 million for whatever amount of years for a deal. Maybe. And here am I talking, I'm broke as shit. 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 million. A lot of money to me. Shit, 5 million. A million's a lot of money to me. 500,000 is a lot of money to me. 200,000 is a lot of money to me. Any amount of thousands is a lot of money to me. But still, I'm just talking in the perspective of if I was Drake or just in their realm of money, in their tax bracket. Drake closed a $400 million deal with Universal. They don't give you $400 million unless they think you can generate that kind of money for the music. Let's just say you did a 5-year deal with $400 million. That means $80 million a year revenue has to come just from music. And mind you, it has to come more because if they loan you $400 million, they probably want interest on that. Maybe that $400 million that they loan, they want $500 million back. That's $100 million. So you got to generate $100 million a year just off of music, period. And I'm sure Drake's doing that. So the levels of income when it comes to this, I understand why Drake would shut it off because It's two different levels, guys. I don't give a fuck when I posted the last episode's podcast talks about the Ross thing, and I reviewed the Ross record. I was like, why is this guy talking about how he has more money when reality Drake washes him? And anybody who sees that differently doesn't understand the levels of these guys. Drake is at a totally different fucking level than Rick Ross could ever fathom musically. Does Rick Ross have a huge mansion? Cool. But what have we learned over the years? Look at Diddy, what he's going through right now. He hasn't even paid off his mansions. He has mortgages on all those mansions. He hasn't paid them off. Oh, but Quake, a lot of rich people do that. They funnel their money. They do all this. I don't give a fuck how you do with your money. You haven't paid it off. At the end of the day, they can take it from you. So we don't know Rick Ross. I'm not saying Rick Ross hasn't paid off his mansion. I'm not saying he doesn't own it. Rick Ross is rich, really rich. But Drake is a different level. Drake is wealthy. He's at a different level. I wouldn't be surprised if pretty soon here we get a billionaire status from him. A lot of people already assume he's a billionaire because the music he's created, the longevity, that alone, just $400 million deal, that tells you right there, that alone gives next levels of money. So it makes sense that Drake said that. Continuing on, Drake and Rick Ross decided to have a mansion clowning thing. Rick Ross tagged them in a lot of like messages on Instagram. Drake responded saying, imagine you have an 88 million to spend on a crib. Your shits be steals if you got them from a police auction, like you got them from police auction. Your Star Island house on the silver of cheesecake. Your lot 40,000 square feet. My crib 40,000 square feet. Leonard. And you put a wrap on your timeshare jet. That shit coming off when it's other people turn to fly. Basically clowning. This is all rich people shit that we have no business in. He posted a photo of Rick Ross' mansion saying, Rick, you sandwiched in, which is on brand because the vacant land not yours. This shit, the Miami starter pack, you living in a content creator crib. Just clowning. And then Rick Ross responds with a slew of videos, dragging in Birdman as well, which is ridiculous. Let's play these clips.
White boy, BBL Drizzy, I got a question. I saw you posted you got more money than Ricky Rose. And let's assume you did. Well, your best friend, Birdman, his house went into foreclosure 5 years ago. You done watched that man struggle them 5 years and ain't get that man a mansion? Because if you got more money than Rose, what's another 50 million, white boy? White boy, it's one for 40 on Indian Creek. It's one for 50 on Star Island. You got 48 hours, white boy. If you got Ricky Rose money, ain't none of my niggas winning foreclosure. Come on, white boy. I'm finna bust a bottle. White boy, don't do stunner like that. Come on, man. What happened to that? 48 hours. The countdown has begun. And that old ass jet you got, they gave it to you free. That's a 1978. Be safe on that, Drizzy. Be safe on that plane. That old motherfucker. God, it's great.
As we looked at in the previous podcast, Birdman never got foreclosed on. He was in the process of potentially getting foreclosed on. Ultimately ended up selling a house, never got foreclosed on. So Rick Ross lying about that. The second thing is obviously he said none of my guys have ever had to deal with money issues. That's false. Gunplay had a GoFundMe literally last year. That's Rick Ross' artist, the same guy that got turned to Funplay when 50 in June, it jumped him and took his chain, which Rick Ross has never gotten back. The third thing about the private jet, I don't know. That's their business. I'm poor as shit compared to them, so me speaking on this is none of my business when it comes to private jets. The other two things we can prove with facts that it never happened. So, or it did, Rick Ross saying, hey, my homies never had to struggle. Well, Gunplay literally started GoFundMe, and Gunplay is supposed to be your homie, from what I know at least. And then, obviously the foreclosure thing is false. So those two things I can speak on because, hey, facts are facts. Private jets and being old, I don't know about Drake's private jet being old. I don't know about Rick Ross, if he has a private jet, if it's old or not. I could give two fucks. That's too much rich people problems that I could care less. Rick Ross did not he just kept going. So here's more clips.
Hey, no, this shit is really funny because I'm going to tell y'all, it's like battling against nerds. It's like sitting in a class and you watching all the nerds put together their best science project to present to the class. Man, y'all can have that shit. I ain't with that shit. Nigga, your nose fake, your stomach fake. You don't write raps. Your biggest homies in foreclosure. Come on, man. Go buy all them niggas that's living with each other a big mansion and put the BBL Drizzy logo on the gates, man. Feed them niggas, man. Come on, man. Do that shit, man. And y'all need to pray for Drake and tell him, park that old ass plane. It's a 1978. The cargo jet people gave it to him free for promo. And I ain't hating, but be safe, my nigga. If something was to happen to you and I couldn't tell you this, be safe. And anybody getting on it, be safe, man. Wear your seatbelts and make sure the oxygen things in there, because that shit was just for luggage. It wasn't for human beings. You know why Drake don't do what I do when I talk and he don't talk? He'll take a picture and post because he got ghostwriters for his fucking captions. Listen to me, he got the people sitting around, what's Rick gonna do next? Let's go, come up with it. Come on, BBL Drizzy, just pick your phone up and talk to the people. You okay? We know you may be shallow. We know, but everything fine. Everything's gonna be okay. It's therapeutic. Release. No, ain't nothing wrong with talking shit, but Drake, you gotta keep it at one line. That shit you doing gotta take 20 minutes. One line, or don't DM me no more.
Lots of trolling from Rick Ross, of course, but nothing that was really, just a bunch of trolling. I think these two, like I said on the last podcast, they're just going to be talking shit to each other for a little bit, and then 6 months down the round, like maybe a year down the line, they're going to be cool with each other. I don't really see this getting really, like, off the rails. But, who knows? We'll see what happens. But, yeah, a bunch of back and forth about who has a bigger mansion, who's got, bigger yachts or private jets, whatever the fuck. Bunch of rich people shit that us regular folk have no business in, basically. I want bars, so, Rick Ross released the Champagne Moments diss track on streaming platforms with a funny artwork. But Drake, I don't think this is Drake. Drake doesn't really care about this. This is just something, a side thing that's happened that he's just trolling and entertaining, because he's been taunting Kendrick and his managers and his team for a few days now. So let's go over that, actually. Drake posted on his story Kendrick Lamar's manager, and he posted a caption on it with a bunch of turtle emojis saying, "Wonder is today the day." So he's waiting on, hey, is this the day that finally Kendrick Lamar responds? And here's the funny thing, right? So Drake is like counting down every single day when Kendrick's going to respond, but it took you literally 3 weeks to respond. So it's like you have no right to count these days. You know what? You know why I pressured Drake into responding quick is because he pressured Meek Mill into doing it. That's the only reason. Like, if you're going to be, I waited 4 days, where y'all at? Like, if you're going to rap that type of shit, then, when Kendrick shoots shots at you, I have a right to pressure you into release a track. Kendrick has never pressured anybody to release a track when it comes to battles. Kendrick's never on social media. He hasn't said a single word since Like That has been released. Not a single social media post, not a single where. We don't even know where that guy's at right now. He could be in, I don't even know, fucking Zimbabwe right now, just chilling. We don't know where he's at. We don't even know what he's thinking. We don't know people are speculating this Friday is going to be a release from Kendrick, but who knows? He might wait until the Like That track falls off the charts, because it's still number one. It's been 3 weeks at number one. So it's a hit record. So why should Kendrick take away from that hit record and release a diss? He might just wait till that song starts to fall off. Who knows? Anyways, Drake continued it and posted Kendrick's manager again with him shopping at one of Drake's stores, the OVO stores, and he said, "We getting in our bag or nah?" So he's basically taunting once again and saying, what's going on? Are we going to start battling, or what are we doing? I appreciate Drake's enthusiasm with this, but Kendrick has more than a right to take his time. Kendrick's never pressured an artist to release. Kendrick never gets on social media and posts Instagram, IG captions and turns to IG thought and goes on tour yelling. And even though after Like That was released, Kendrick had a show and never, acted out at that show at all. Kendrick's been quiet. as he should be, as any artist. If you're in a battle, I don't want to hear IG captions, stories, videos. I want you to go in the booth and disrespect the other artist. Give us some bars. So that's where I'm at with the situation. Drake keeps taunting. So, it's a tactic from Drake, because even when that fake Kendrick AI record came out, which I knew was AI off the jump, and it was confirmed by some TikToker, he made the track. He said, listen, it was me. I produced it. I created this fake AI record, which is the dumbest thing ever. I don't know why anybody would fucking waste their time, energy, everything, writing to sound like another artist. It's the dumbest fucking thing ever. And it's ruining hip-hop battles, because now when songs come out, people are speculating, is this AI or not? Even though I've nailed it 3 out of 3 times. I've nailed it. When the first Drake record came out, which is now Push-Ups dropping Give Me 50, I said it's not AI. That's Drake. I could tell it was not Drake. Called it out. Second Drake record that leaked with him talking about, Whitney, I'm going to be whatever, blah, blah, blah. He's mentioning Kendrick's wife. Fake. I could tell. It was choppy. Did not sound like Drake. AI is not advanced to the point where it can catch breathing and can catch different types of sounds, flows. It's not choppy when an artist does it. It's choppy with AI. You can tell. So I called that out. It's AI. It's not real. And then the Kendrick record came out. Said it was AI. Anybody believe that was a fool? And then there's other records that are coming out, but you can clearly, those are 100%. You can tell it's AI. It's not even a question. So Drake and his team posted that AI Kendrick record and said it was real, and you guys are trying to deny it, when a TikToker came out and said, listen, it was me, guys. I went viral off it, which is the dumbest shit ever. Like I said, that TikToker and any fucking artist who's taken their time to write this dope-ass bars to just sound like another artist is the dumbest shit ever. It's corny. It's stupid. Stop doing it, guys. If you're one of those people and you're listening to this podcast, you are the corniest person alive. Stop ruining what we're trying to enjoy. We don't want AI records. We just want the artists. With that being said, stop, and you guys, people that are consuming the music, stop believing any fucking thing that comes out. Don't even give it attention. Unless Kendrick or Drake confirms it, don't give anything else attention. Because Drake confirmed his diss by sending the CD quality version to academics. That was Drake's confirmation. Yes, the track's not on streaming platforms. Yes, Drake hasn't officially been like, yo, this is a official release, blah, blah, blah. The official confirmation is that he sent the CD quality version to academics to premiere. That's the conversation. That's the confirmation. Kendrick, of course, like that. Metro Boomin Future, that's the confirmation easily on there. But don't believe anything else, guys. Unless it's coming from Kendrick or Drake directly, or a source that you can trust directly. Don't believe anything. Everything else is just AI. Just think of it as AI. It's that simple. I've never fallen for anything because, hey, why believe that shit? It's false, man. Especially in today's time, as technology advances, AI is going to get even worse. It's going to perfect itself. By what I mean even worse is now we're going to have an even harder time dictating what is real and not. Give it about 2, 3 more, maybe 5 years, and we're not going to know the difference. Maybe we'll be able to catch a thing or two here, but right now I can tell the difference because of how choppy some of these sound and how the voices don't sound completely 100% directly like the artist. They sound probably 90% like the artist. So yeah, we'll keep our eyes posted. Drake is just consistently taunting. So yeah, we'll see what happens moving forward. Continuing on, Drake is also trolling Metro Boomin, which is probably the funniest thing because there's been a lot of memes coming out of Metro Boomin because he can't rap. He's not a rapper. He just produces. So people are like, hey, this is they posted a mask off instrumental with a guy said, this is Metro Boomin and Andre 3000 dissing Drake. And it's just the instrumental. It's hilarious. So he starts to troll him and he posts an AI altered video of Nick Cannon and Drumline, obviously doing the drums or whatever, and it's Metro Boomin's face on there. And then he posted, he actually did something that was really iconic. He he hired a bunch of drummers to be outside of Magic City, and he captioned it saying, "From me to you." So Drake is next level trolling with this stuff, and the Metro Boomin played with the trolling, and he posted on his Instagram a video of him teaching people how to produce. And in the title, it's this. The title says, "Start with your drums first sometimes," which, you know, is trolling what Drake said. So I thought that was just funny. Drake is doing his thing with it, and Metro Boom is having fun with it as well. Continuing on, let's get into Rick Ross, man. I'm going to... Actually, you know what? Let's first start with this. The Game. So The Game posted a video of him bumping Drake's Energy. I got enemies, got a lot of enemies, got my energy. So shout out to that record because it's fire. But he posted that, and then the caption, he said, "I got rap guys that I got to act like I like." A lot of people are speculating, is this Game siding with Drake? Because Game is, you know, West Coast, has always shown love to Kendrick Lamar. But he's also said, hey, anybody fucks with Drake, I'm going to side with Drake. So I think he's siding with Drake because Kendrick was at the Super Bowl, you know, and Game has never really liked the fact that, you know, he was never invited to the Super Bowl, and he still has hard feelings about that. I don't know if he's reconciled with Dr. Dre about the situation or not, but, you know, he's always felt some type of way about it. And the fact, you know, a lot of people probably speculate that, hey, Kendrick maybe replaced the Game because Kendrick maybe shouldn't have deserved it as much as the Game because he's been there for a lot longer. Who knows? Regardless, this type of message, it seems like Game is siding with Drake. We don't know. Drake liked the post. But if Game sides with Drake, that's very interesting, man. I don't think, you know, I don't know how Kendrick's going to feel about that. When Kendrick's diss drops, my main question is he going to take aim at J. Cole and Drake? Or is he just going to go at Drake and just let J. Cole run off with an apology and let him move on from the situation? As time's gone on, it kind of looks like J. Cole did the right decision apologizing because a lot of stuff has been flying. And if Kendrick really decides to cook in this next track, a lot of people are going to start probably revealing things that we've never heard before. So J. Cole right now, it's looking like he did the smart thing leaving and getting out of the situation because it's looking like it's going to get bad as time goes on, worse and worse. So Game is deciding to potentially side with Drake, but we'll keep our eye posted and see, you know, if Game actually does that. William Roberts, a.k.a. Rose, I'm about to go in on him, man. There's a lot of stuff I'm about to be talking about right now. For the next 20, 30 minutes, is just going to be Rick Ross, me going in on Rick Ross. So the first thing is 1090 Jake dropped some documents, and I think 50 Cent actually dropped these documents initially. And these documents show that Rick Ross has had perfect attendance as a correctional officer. Since he had a certificate of appreciation presented to Officer William Roberts in recognition of your service as a police attendance employee, Department of Corrections. So apparently he had perfect attendance and was a correctional officer for 2 years. I think these documents were released a while ago from 50. So I think 1090J just got them from 50. But, you know, he resigned in June 16th, 1997. He released a letter saying, "Dear South Florida Reception Center, with this letter I offer my resignation from my position as a correctional officer at South Florida Reception Center, effective June 16th, 1997. My decision has been made after months of deliberation, and now I feel this is the right direction for me. Thank you for your interest in my career and for the experience I've gained through my employment in South Florida Reception Center. William Leonard Roberts, Jr." Now, why is this a big deal? Why is this blah, blah, blah? Like, why do we care about this? Well, Rick Ross has consistently lied about his past as a correctional officer. Consistently. Now, what are people going to throw at me, right? People are going to throw at me immediately. I can already read the comments and tell. Well, Quake, he was a correctional officer because, you know, there are a lot of dirty correctional officers. He was probably helping a lot of drug dealers smuggle drugs, or he's helping drug dealers get drugs in the prison, and that's why he's a correctional officer, right? That's okay. Throw that out there. He's a drug dealer. He was just helping people. That's why he's a correctional officer. Let's just throw that out there, right? Here's why I don't believe that bullshit. When it first came out, the photo came out of Rick Ross as a correctional officer. And there's interviews to prove of this. There's interviews with timelines, which when I redo my 50 versus Rick Ross thing, I'm going to put out timelines of this. Rick Ross completely denied that he was a correction officer. Completely denied it. Said the photos were photoshopped. That was not him. Mind you, this lasted for about a year and a half until 50 came out with documents saying this guy was actually a correctional officer. Hard-bred documents from South Florida. What happened after that? What did Rick Ross do? Instead of saying, hey, the photos are photoshopped, he finally got pressured to admitting I was a correction officer. Yes, that's true. Now, what did he do after that, though? Finally admitted to it. So, one, you lie for a year and a half, 2 years, say, I wasn't me. Then you change your answer to, it was me, but, and this is the but, oh, I was in there for only a couple of months. I was helping a bunch of street dudes. I was in there to help the streets, to help my guys who were trying to move weight. Now, again, as years go on, that's been rebutted and has been proven as false. He said on the podcast, I forget, it's the Full Send podcast. That's what he said.
Maybe when I was 20.
20 years old.
Yeah.
What kind of people were in there?
You know, I didn't really get to make it to the prison because you got to go through training and all that, and I didn't last long.
Right.
I may have lasted 4 months.
Right.
Before they said,
yeah,
I was a little tardy. Anything you got to really do and you fucking running and jogging and all of that shit, man. I missed a few days.
Look at that. So documents come out now clearly showing, and mind you, this has probably been documents a while ago. I don't know if what 50 released the documents. I know it released a lot, but clearly showing he's been in perfect attendance for 2 years as an officer, correctional officer. 2 years perfect attendance. So why would he deny and be like, 4 months and I didn't even get in there. I was tardy. And then he flips this narrative of, I was smuggling drugs. I was doing it just for the streets. I was helping my homies in the streets out. Come on, guys. At what point do we got to be like, okay, this guy's lying? Like, how many times does this guy have to adjust his story for us to be like, okay, this guy's lying? Think about it. If I adjusted my story, if anybody that you knew adjusted their story 3 times over, would you believe them? I wouldn't. Come on, man. At this point, it's like, this is utterly ridiculous. The fact that anybody thinks that he was a correction officer to help the streets and he was smuggling drugs and he was the street guy and he was doing all this and he was the biggest drug dealer in Miami, Port of Miami. Come on. Another thing that should show you that, hey, this guy wasn't the guy that he brags about in his music. He stole someone's whole identity. That real Rick Ross was in Los Angeles, got locked up, seemingly for life, and he said, okay, this guy's facing life. I can take his identity. He's never going to be able to do anything. Unfortunately for Rick Ross, he got out. The real Rick Ross got out and said, what the fuck's going on? How is this guy took my name, beard, everything, my whole image, and ran with it. And what are people going to throw at me? I already know. Oh, Quake, but 50 took 50 Cent's name from somebody. 50 took 50 Cent's name from the Brooklyn stick-up kid. Yeah, 50 took someone's identity. Here's the difference, guys. If you use your brain a little bit, 50 off the rip, before he even blew up, go to Wanksta video shoot behind the scenes. You'll find the video on the Give Richard Die Trying DVD. Before he blew up, before Wanksta even came out, was this huge hit record, and before it even blew up, what did he say? I got my name from a Brooklyn stick-up kid. And what is 50's history? Stick-up kid, bully, drug dealer, all that. Here's the thing about Rick Ross, too, that we don't get. We don't get stories from Rick Ross about his past. We don't get street guys vouching for Rick Ross in South Florida saying this guy was actually moving weight. I've never heard a single story of any of that, period. Find me a clip. Find me a person that says this guy was a drug dealer doing what he says in his music. You can't find it. With 50, you can find millions of people, even Bang'em Smurf, who hates 50's guts, 50 got Bang'em Smurf deported out of America to I don't know where he's deported at, honestly. But whatever, got him deported out of America. 50 got him deported out of America. And he hates 50's guts, but every single time he gets asked about 50, he still says 50's real. He's done the street shit, Regardless of how I feel about him, I have to keep it real on that. 50 went up against Supreme. That's why Supreme shot him, got him allegedly, got him hit because 50's always gone up. 50's had corner blocks locked down in Queens with drugs. 50 at the age of 18 years old had him damn near a brand new Mercedes Benz off of what he was doing. And I've never heard of stories of Rick Ross, the rapper, doing these type of things. So he adjusts his story constantly, day in and day out. And yet people still choose to believe. Here's the thing, guys. This is my take on it. Had Rick Ross, when the images came out, the documents came out, had Rick Ross been like, yeah, I was 18, 19, 20 years old at the time. I needed some money. I took that as a side job. I didn't know what I was doing in my life. I was in the streets here and there. I took that as a side job. I needed some extra money. Cool. I would have been like, you know what? Admitted it off the rip. No questioning it. Just wanted a side job. Cool. Instead, denied it. Finally, documents came out, adjusted his story, said he was a correctional officer that smuggled drugs, said he was only there for 4 months. Documents come out, he's there for 2 years. Like, come on, man. He's just adjusting his story. Like, listen, if Rick Ross owned up to it and said, hey, I just got a regular job, I would have been like, dude, salute. That would have been a round of applause for me. I would have been like, hey, owned up to it, said he got a regular job, part of his past, eventually got involved in street stuff later down the line. That's where he's at right now. Shit happens in life. Cool. I applaud somebody for getting a regular job, figuring their path in life. That's not what I'm clowning here, guys. That's the difference. People are like, what's wrong with Rick Ross getting a job as corrections officer? He got a job. So what? Who cares? That's not the point of the situation. The point is him constantly lying back to back to back. That's the point of the situation. And that's it. So with that being said, I'm going to get into Joe Budden podcast. Parks. So they were talking about, Drake, Rick Ross beat, Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and just going in a lot of stuff. And I'm going to try to play a clip from the Joe Budden podcast. Sometimes they're copyrighted, so if it's not in the video, you guys know why, right? But basically what Parks said, Parks is part of one of the guests on the Joe Budden podcast. What he said is Rick Ross ja ruled 50 Cent, and 50 ended up doing movies and TV shows and fell off musically and moved them out of the music business, right? That's what Parks said. Joe Budden pushed back. Flip, I think his name is Flip, from Queen's Flip. He pushed back, and I don't know who else was on the program, but to give credit to Joe Budden's podcast, they pushed back a little bit on it. We're like, what are you talking about? Parks, who needs to really park his opinions and never fucking voice them again, doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, talked about something that he has no idea about. And I'm going to break it down for you guys because he clearly has no idea what he's talking about. Rick Ross never ja ruled 50. Rick Ross never made 50 quit. And 50's dominated Rick Ross in different aspects of music in 2009 till now. I'm not even bringing up 50's prime in his career because we all know that washes Rick Ross 20, 30, 40, 60 times over. That's not even a question. Get Rich or Die Trying has done Rick Ross' whole career. That one album has done Rick Ross' whole career. So we're not even talking about pre-2009. We're not talking 2008 until 2003. We're talking 2009 to 2023. That's what we'll talk about. Because all of a sudden, people say 50 fell off after the Rick Ross beef, and Rick Ross clowned him and cooked him, and Rick Ross's career skyrocketed, and Rick Ross is hot, and 50 fell off, and nobody gave a fuck, blah, 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 blah. All this narrative bullshit that I hear, this culture, Rick Ross is dominating the culture. Everybody was bumping Rick Ross. Rick Ross was the hottest shit, period. That's the illusion that got you guys twisted. It's an illusion. Want to know why it's an illusion? Rick Ross surrounded himself at the time with everybody that's hot. Drake, Lil Wayne, Diddy, who was doing numbers with Last Train to Paris with Diddy Dirty Money. What did Diddy say around that time? Oh, Rick Ross is the new Biggie. I never heard any. After Biggie passed away, I don't know who could replace Biggie. Well, Rick Ross is doing that. You can find articles of that all from 2009, 2010. That's why 50 hates Diddy as well, because he was pushing that bullshit narrative of Rick Ross is the next Biggie, and Rick Ross is this fucking MC that matches Biggie. No. Biggie did diamond. Rick Ross barely goes fucking platinum. Barely goes platinum. And we're talking about Rick Ross as if he's Biggie. That's a spit in Biggie's face. Diddy should be ashamed of himself for doing that. But it was all a narrative to get 50 out the way. That's all it is. That's why 50's clowning Diddy day in and day out. That's another narrative. That's another reason why 50's clowning Diddy day in and day out. It's a whole different conversation. But let's go over the numbers. I don't care what you experienced in 2010, 2011, 2012 with Rick Ross. Don't get it twisted because Rick Ross was featured on DJ Khaled's I'm On One or Pop That French Montana or all these featured on records. Kanye West's Devil in a New Dress, Monster, and all these records. Don't get that twisted. That Rick Ross is this hot guy who does these numbers and he was boiling hot and blah blah blah. Don't get that twisted. Because that's a false persona as Rick Ross' whole career is. Let's get into the numbers. Let's get into years later. Now we can look back and be like, okay, what happened? In the moment, Rick Ross, hot, BMF, Buff, and all these records, Teflon Don and Maybach Music Group is doing all these numbers and blah, blah, blah. Okay. Years have gone by. We're 14 years down the line. We're 15 years down the line. Let's see, because I broke this down number by number. I took my time on this bitch to break it down for people, to break it down for Parks, who needs to park his fucking opinion on this to the side fucking curb. I don't want to hear never again from Parks or any fucking moron that says, hey, Rick Ross Ja ruled 50. And the fact that Parks said, look, this is the funny thing. Parks clowned 50 for having hit theme music from TV shows. You know how hard it is to get a hit record off of a theme TV show? Think about the last time a theme TV show was a hit record. Think about that. That was another thing that Parks said that was stupid. So, let's go over the numbers. These are Spotify streaming numbers. Apple Music, unfortunately, doesn't have their numbers out there like that, but Spotify does. And this is the funny thing. Let me put in perspective how much 50 has considerably throughout the years beat Rick Ross and has still impacted in today's time. Rick Ross has never in his life impacted hip-hop like that. Has he had a hot verse here and there? Has he had a moment with a song here and there? Yes. Has he impacted hip-hop? Have new artists said, I fuck with Rick Ross. He is my favorite artist. I was inspired by Rick Ross. No. Not a single one. Show me the artist that says that. Go to the interviews. Kendrick doesn't mention Rick Ross' inspiration. J. Cole doesn't mention Rick Ross' inspiration. Drake never mentions Rick Ross' inspiration. Trippie Redd, NBA YoungBoy, Chief Keef, Pop Smoke. Pop Smoke was literally a 50 Cent 2.0 version, a different, newer, younger, literally a fucking offspring of 50. Do we have an offspring of Rick Ross? No. No. Nobody wants to be Rick Ross. Rick Ross does not sell, does not impact like that. Where do you guys get this from? Where does this narrative come from? You guys got tricked by Diddy, claiming he's the next Biggie. You guys got tricked by him being surrounded by Lil Wayne, who actually influenced. Go ask the newer artists. They'll say Lil Wayne influenced. They'll say Drake influenced me. They'll say Kanye influenced me. They'll say 50 Cent influenced me. They'll say Eminem influenced me. They'll say Jay-Z influenced me. They'll say Nas influenced me. They will never mention William Roberts, a.k.a. Rick Ross, as an influence. Never. Find me the interview. Find me it. But we can't. That's the problem. We can't. And there's this narrative that the bullshit narrative, Parks, and anybody else who throws this weird-ass narrative that this guy is hot, this guy was bubbling, this guy was moving units. When all the albums went gold, singles barely went platinum, we'll get into that. 2009, the year that the beef started. Rick Ross dropped Deeper in the Rap, 50 dropped Before I Self-Destruct, right? Okay. They did roughly the same in first week sales. Roughly. Let's say 150,000 each. Roughly. It was like, 147,000, 151,000, whatever. 150,000, same. Mind you, 50 Cent Before I Self-Destruct leaked 1 month earlier. That's the number one thing. But Deeper Than Rap didn't leak. It leaked like probably 3-4 days earlier, if that came out. 50 had to deal with leaking. The album, all the album came out, clean version, and even dirty version came out a couple of days later. They had to adjust the dates because the album's supposed to come out like November 23rd, and they got pushed to November 16th, November 9th from iTunes, and a bunch of bullshit. Mind you, a movie was added to that album, so 50 is already focusing on movies and TV shows. Dealing with Jimmy Iovine, by the way. At this moment, it was dealing with Jimmy Iovine, who was the CEO of Interscope. 50 was wanting to push his own headphones, SMS Audio. Interscope turned into Beats by Dre Records, where if you weren't with Beats by Dre, Jimmy Iovine didn't give a fuck about pushing your music. So 50 was dealing with that behind the scenes. While dealing with that, he still sold more than Rick Ross. First week numbers came out the same. Eventually, Before I Self-Destruct went on to go gold. Hasn't been certified platinum, but as of now, if it got updated in terms of sales, it would be platinum. Deeper Than Rap has not, I think it's gold, if that. Let me see. Deeper Than Rap, Deeper Than Rap, Deeper. Yeah, I don't see anything for Deeper Than Rap, guys. Maybe it didn't even go gold. Yeah, nothing for Deeper Than Rap and RIA certifications. 50 Cent's Before I Self-Destruct was certified gold in 2010. So as of now, we can assume, we can assume that it's platinum. This is January 21st, 2010. The album came out in November 2009. 2 months, within 2 months, it was gold. Right now, we can assume it's platinum, potentially even double platinum. I don't know. But, hey, went gold. That's the same year they both released. Cool. Here's the funny statistic. This is a statistic that shows you Rick Ross does not have impact. Rick Ross is not somebody that people are listening to day in and day out. Rick Ross is not this artist that this picture has been painted of Rick Ross completely dominating 50. When it's not. The numbers prove otherwise. Before I Self-Destruct, daily streams does 629,934 streams daily on Spotify. Okay, let me just is that the bomb?
He did that.
There's the bomb. Let me just explode your brain here. All right? Check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The last 10 albums that Rick Ross has released from 2009 till now add up to 440,379 streams daily. 10 albums into one of 50's. By the way, this isn't 50's biggest album. We're not talking before 2009. We're talking 2009 and after when the beef started. 629,000 streams versus 440,000 streams. 50's doing what? What is 50 doing? Almost 200,000 more streams off one album. By the way, I've added the best numbers. Deeper Than Rap, 35,000 streams, 852 daily. Teflon Don, 155,000 streams, 695 daily. Rick Ross, God Forgives I Don't, deluxe version. I added the deluxe because if it's not deluxe, it would have been less streams. But I added deluxe. This is giving better from the doubt, right? 52,318. Rick Ross Mastermind Deluxe, 53,819. Rick Ross Hood Billionaire Deluxe, 8,532. Rick Ross Black Market Deluxe, 17,338. Rick Ross Rather You Than Me, 19,174. Rick Ross Port of Miami 2, 39,070. Rick Ross Richer Than I Ever Been Deluxe, 29,602. Rick Ross Too Good to Be True, 82,796. That's with Meek Mill, by the way, collab album. That all totals up to 440,397 streams. Meanwhile, 50 Cent's one album, Before I Self-Destruct, the album that everybody considered 50 fell off, isn't doing numbers, it's garbage, fell off after that. Nobody gives a fuck about 50. Rick Ross Ja ruled them. 629,000. So who had impact? We talking impact, right? We're talking hot. We're talking moving the needle, becoming the new thing in hip hop. Rick Ross failed at doing that. Failed. The numbers prove it. If you don't want to go off the numbers, you want to go off culture, you want to go off what you experience, I don't give a fuck about your opinion on what you experience. That doesn't dictate shit, because your experience is different from another person's experience. It's different from another person's experience. We don't bump music just in the clubs. We don't bump music just at fucking grilling events. We don't bump music in public areas all the time. We go to gyms where we have headphones on, where we listen to our own music. We go in a house, comfortably listen to music, where we don't, not everybody fucking listens to what we listen to and can hear everything that we're listening to. We bump music in our car, privately. Come on, guys. Come on. And Rick Ross Ja ruled 50? Don't do that. Don't push a false narrative. Don't push it like, oh, Rick Ross made 50 get into TV shows and movies. That was not the reason why. Jimmy Iovine told 50, listen, you're pushing SMS audio. We ain't fucking with that. We're pushing Beats by Dre. You know what you should do? This is what Jimmy Iovine told 50. Get into movies and TV. You're done here. We're not going to help you. 50 had success outside of Interscope Records. Think about that. Outside of Interscope Records, 50 had success. And I'm going to prove it to you why. This is outside. I'm going to show you. Outside of Interscope Records, 50 had success. So what does that tell you? That in Interscope, he was having pushback. He was having blackmail. Jimmy wasn't fucking with it. Meanwhile, Rick Ross is getting pushed by Def Jam to be the next Biggie. Day in and day out. All right, let's go. So, what I did, year after year, from 2009 to 2023, what I did, year after year, was put up their biggest songs, whether they were the owner of the track, meaning Rick Ross featuring or 50 Cent featuring, or whether they were just featured on the track. Mind you, Rick Ross had a lot of records that he was just featured on that were hot, that weren't even his. I'm just letting you know that. A lot of the records that 50 was hot in was his records. But that's just whatever. Who cares? I'll put everything into one pot so people don't say, oh, Quake, you decided to select these type of things because it makes 50 look better. No. Listen. Giving it as best as I can, fair as possible. 2009. Biggest records in 2009 from 50. The biggest record from Rick Ross in 2009. 50, Baby by Me, does 605,000 streams daily. Daily. Have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire. Daily. What did Rick Ross do in 2009? What's his hottest record in 2009? Magnificent. Guess how much streams that does? Just guess. Throw it out right now. Throw it out your mind. 8,096 streams. We're talking 605,000 versus 896,000 streams. Oh, but Quake, that record impacted culturally. I don't give a fuck about that. What are people listening to right now on their phones that they're clicking on and bumping every single day? 605,000 people every day are bumping that record. Baby by Me, Have a Billionaire, whatever the fuck. Mastermind, 8,000 people? Okay. 2009, 50 washes them. Let's get into 2020. Now, both in this year, it was other artists that gave Ross and 50 their biggest hits. So, Kanye West, Devil in a New Dress, featuring Rick Ross. As of today, it does 321,000 streams. It is 2 times platinum, though. Jeremiah, Down on Me, featuring 50. This is in 2010, when Rick Ross apparently Ja ruled 50. This is the narrative that's out there. 2010, Down on Me, 178,000 streams. But it's 6 times platinum. By the way, this 6 times platinum is Rick Ross's highest platinum ever in his career, regardless if it's his own track or featured on. And that's thanks to Drake. Money in the Grave is 6 times platinum. That's thanks to Drake. 50's got in the club. That's Diamond. So we're in a whole different field, but we're not counting that. Let's just skip through that shit, right? Before 2009, we can't count that. Come on, man. 50 fell off in 2009 and later on. We can't count them before that. Okay, so Jeremiah Down on Me, 178,000. Kanye West, Devil in a New Dress with Rick Ross, 321,000. One's 2 times platinum, one's 6 times platinum, whatever. We'll give it to Rick Ross. Devil in a New Dress, obviously doing more numbers. It does about what? 60,000 more in streams. Cool. Rick Ross gets that. 2011. Nicole Scherzinger featuring 50 Cent right there. Does 9,073 streams. Rick Ross, who, by the way, surrounded by all these hot artists, Lil Wayne, Drake, fucking P. Diddy, whoever's hot at the moment, has You the Boss, that record, featuring Nicki Minaj at 13,529 streams. What's the difference there? We're talking 3,000 more streams, maybe 4,000 more streams. Mind you, 50 didn't release an album. 50's not featured with hot artists. Was Nicole Scherzinger that hot of an artist at the time? Pussycat Dolls lead singer? No. But 50 still doing numbers with it. By the way, charged higher than Rick Ross, You the Boss on the Billboard Hot 100, but we're not going to get into that. Whatever, Rick Ross wins that. So 50's got 1, Rick Ross got 2. 2012. Chief Keef, Hey Being Sober, featuring 50 and Wiz Khalifa, 193,000 streams daily. Biggest Rick Ross, whatever, anything Rick Ross did in 2012 is Stay Ski Man. Hot record, by the way. I love it. 89,236 streams. So 50's damn near doubled that, but whatever. Okay, 50 wins that. So we're tied 2-2, right? So apparently Rick Ross washing 50. That's the narrative. That's what I'm seeing as a narrative. Right now it's looking pretty tied to me, guys. Mind you, 50's facing label issues. 50 isn't releasing albums. 50's just dropping random records and doing features. That's it. That's it, guys. That's it. Continuing on, 2013. 50 Cent, We Up, featuring Kendrick Lamar, 6,981 streams daily right now, as of now, 2024. Rick Ross, Fuck With Me, You Know I Got It. That's Jay-Z's record, featuring Rick Ross, 16,672 streams. Okay. Rick Ross wins. 10,000 more streams. Cool. Won that. 2014. Rick Ross washes 50 in this one. I ain't going to lie. But 50's now focused on stars, power. 50 Cent, Big Rich Town, does 24,000 streams daily. Chris Brown, New Flame, featuring Rick Ross, and I believe Lil Wayne, is doing 138,000 streams. So washes 50 on that. Chris Brown's record, regardless, even though it features Rick Ross, we'll still count it. Fuck it, Rick Ross on the record. It is what it is, 138,000. Watch some of that. 2015. Now, this is where I always point to as like 50's washed Rick Ross. Anything from 2009 till now, 50's washed. Let me show you why. 50 Cent, I'm the Man. Now, it came out late 2015, came out in 2000, like really started getting like with the Chris Brown remix 2016, but whatever. We'll count as 2015 because that's when it was officially released off of a free mixtape on datpiff.com, the Kanan tape. No streaming, by the way, 2015, no streams were counting as actual sales in 2015. That didn't start, I think, till late 2016 or early 2017, somewhere around there, if I remember correctly, maybe 2016. So streams weren't counting. By the way, this is a free track that came out off of a free mixtape. As of today, I'm the Man by 50 does 96,310 streams daily. Rick Ross, The Devil Is a Lie. That's the biggest record in 2015 that he had any part in any artist, anything. What is that doing in streams? 15,442. So 50 washed them there. Mind you, 50 went double platinum on this record. Released independently off Unit Records. No radio push. 50 didn't even give a fuck about the record. Just dropped it. Free off a mixtape. Didn't give 2 fucks about the track. And double platinum. Double platinum. 2 million sold. Double platinum. Free record. No promo. Let's continue on. 2016. 50, No Romeo, No Juliet with Chris Brown. 9,496 daily streams. DJ Khaled, Do You Mind, features Rick Ross. 42,153 streams. Okay, wins. DJ Khaled's record regardless, but still wins. Okay. 2017. This is where both of them had a really bad year of music. 50 didn't release shit, but one song called Still Think I'm Nothing. Didn't release nothing. 1,870 in streams. Daily, nothing. That's garbage. Rick Ross, same type of thing. Rick Ross, I Think She Like Me, 2,286. Rick Ross wins that, but by 500 streams. Not a big deal. 2018, Ed Sheeran released Remember the Name featuring 50 and Eminem, 61,000 daily streams. Rick Ross, Green Gucci Suit, 1,249 streams. 50 watched him there. 2019, 50 didn't release any music for streaming. Nothing. So 0 on there. Rick Ross washes him on this, though. Drake, Money in the Grave featuring Rick Ross does 250,000 daily streams. Destroys him in 2019, of course. 2020, 50 Cent, Pop Smoke, The Woo, 106,000 streams daily. Skip Marley, Make Me Feel with Rick Ross does 3,665 streams daily. 50 wins on that part. 2021, Wish Me Luck was the record that was released by 50, but it's not on streaming. The numbers aren't there, so there's nothing really to dictate on that. DJ Snake, Run It features Rick Ross. That's done 39,000 streams. Cool. Rick Ross wins that. 2022, Is This Love? Eminem featuring 50 Cent. 27,000 streams daily. Rick Ross released nothing in 2022. That counted as streams. 2023, Rick Ross and Meek Mill, Shaq and Kobe, 19,332 streams. Nicki Minaj, Beat Beat featuring 50 Cent, 20,180 streams. 50 wins that. Now, what am I going to go over, right? 50 had 7 times where he beat Rick Ross and streams. Mind you, 50 only released 1 album. Actually, if we count 2009, 2 albums. So Before I Self-Destruct and Animal Ambition. Animal Ambition was released independently through Caroline, through Juno Records. That's it. No major label push, nothing. He was independent since then. Since after 2013, he finished an Interscope deal. That's it. He released 2 albums. Rick Ross, in this time span, released like, how many albums? Let's see here. Let's actually count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 albums from 2009 to 2023. 10 albums released. 50 released 2 albums. And still, 50 with barely any effort matched Rick Ross year in and year out. And who came out on top of streams. That's not to mention that Before I Self-Destruct cooks all of his albums from 2009 till now in streams. That's not to mention that. Let's just get that out the way. 50 wins in that. Album-wise, over. I get the fuck out of here. It's over. Singles-wise, 50 damn near matched him. Rick Ross had 8. 50 had 7 out of those years. So where is this narrative coming from? Where? That Rick Ross ruled 50. Parks, is there something going on in your brain you just don't understand? Come on, man. Let's go over the RIA certifications. Biggest certifications from 2009 till now is Drake, Money in the Grave featuring Rick Ross, and Jeremiah, Down on Me featuring 50 Cent. Both 6 times platinum. Then if we go look at lead artists with their lead songs, 50 Cent, I'm the Man. No label push. No major artist being featured on it besides Chris Brown on the remix, which helped a little bit. Double platinum, Juno Records, independent, off a free mixtape. Double platinum. Rick Ross's biggest lead song, Aston Martin Music featuring Drake and that singer, I forget her name, 3 times platinum. So yeah, Rick Ross wins in that, 3 times platinum versus 2 times platinum. Much, much better. Chart positioning. Drake, Lemon Pepper Freestyle is Rick Ross's highest charting song of his entire career. Period. There's no other song that Rick Ross has ever gotten higher than that song. Drake had to give you your hits. Drake was right on the diss record. Gave you your hits. That peaked at number 3, but stayed there for only a week and then fell the fuck off the charts, but it's the number 3. Jeremiah, Down on Me featuring 50 Cent, peaked at number 4 on the Hot 100, stayed on those charts, stayed at number 4 for quite some time. And then artists with, now we're going on 50 being the lead artist and Rick Ross being lead artist. Rick Ross was the lead artist for Aston Martin Music. That was his highest charting song from 2009 till now. That peaked at number 30 on the Hot 100. 50 Cent's highest charting song as a lead artist was My Life, featuring Eminem and Adam Levine. That peaked at number 27 on the Hot 100. So 50 beat him on that as a lead artist. So what's the difference here, really? Like, what's the huge difference? Where is this Ja Rule? Where is this narrative that Rick Ross was this hot artist that cooked 50, that was the hottest, biggest? No. Matter of fact, look at Rick Ross' chart history. Before 2009, he had a higher charting song of his career. The hottest charting record he's ever had in his career was before the 50 beef, and that was The Boss featuring T-Pain. T-Pain had to be on the hook. T-Pain was on fire. T-Pain hooked him up with that. The Boss. That peaked at number 17. That was the highest Rick Ross as a lead artist charting record. So this narrative that Rick Ross got hot, that Rick Ross was this, he was on a next level after beat 50, is false. It's false. You guys got tricked because he was surrounded by the hot artists like Kanye, like Nicki Minaj, like Drake, like Lil Wayne, like Diddy at the time. You guys got tricked. That's all it is, man. You guys got tricked. Rick Ross did not do... His only platinum album was Port of Miami. That came out in 2006. Everything else either went gold or didn't fucking sell at all. So, people are going to throw this narrative out. Oh, culture, this and that. When I was out, I was hearing Rick Ross records here. And I don't give a fuck what you heard when you were out. I don't care. That doesn't make a difference, man. I heard a bunch of shit when I was out. When I go overseas, I don't even hear Rick. People don't even know who Rick Ross is. Have you traveled outside of America? Have you tried that? If you haven't traveled outside of America, you can't really frankly speak on any of this stuff. Because the world is what matters, not just a certain section of an area. Oh, well, when I was here in Los Angeles in 2010, I heard Rick Ross's BMF all over the place. Everybody had bumping that record. I don't give a fuck what you heard and what your experience was of that. That's your individual experience. The numbers say otherwise. I'm done talking about this bullshit because it's bullshit. You guys know it's bullshit. I know it's bullshit. Park's bullshitting. Anybody pushes this narrative, bullshitting, and I proved it right here. If you want to go over more numbers, we can do that. Not scared of the numbers, baby. Shit, if we talk about 50's career before 2009, there's no comparison, obviously. 50 actually washes a lot of rappers' careers. I'm not even going to mention names because it's going to ruffle feathers, but 50 washes a lot of rappers' careers. And if what Park said, if Rick Ross really Ja ruled 50, then why did 50 have the top 3 highest grossing hip-hop tour of all time with Final Lap Tour? If he gets Ja ruled, he would never. Surely people wouldn't go check him out. Come on, man. Why would people listen to 50? He got Ja ruled. Come on. Can Ja Rule do a tour like that and generate $130 million? Can he do that? No. That's Ja ruled. Rick Ross can never fathom in his life doing a tour that would generate $130 million unless Drake got attached to it. That's it. But him headlining the tour, never in a million years. They don't love Rick Ross like that. They don't love him like that. There's this false narrative. He can rap. He got a great ear for beats. Now, I don't want to get this twisted. I like a lot of Rick Ross's music. I'm not sitting here and saying the guy doesn't make great music. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying there's a false narrative. Why has this narrative ever been pushed when the numbers are there to prove that it's false? Anyways, I've been on this long-ass tangent rant. I'm going to get back to the podcast of what I was going to be talking about because let's get into the Billboard Hot 100 right now. I've broken all that down. All the cap and bullshit that you hear from people is all bullshit. Let's get into the Billboard Hot 100. Speaking of charts and stuff. Hot 100, like that, is still number 1. So shout out to Future, Metro Boomin, and Kendrick Lamar. Number 2 is Hosier, Too Sweet. Number 3 is Benson Bone, Beautiful Things. Number 4 is Teddy Swims, Lose Control. Number 5 is Beyonce, Texas Hold'em. Number 7 debuted. It was J. Cole's 7-Minute Drill. So top 10 record dissing Kendrick Lamar. I'm sorry, that was number 6. Number 7 is Jack Harlow, Lovin' On Me. Number 8 is Ariana Grande, We Can't Be Friends. Number 9 is Type Shit, Future, Metro Boomin, Travis Scott, and Playboi Carti. Number 10 is Stick Season, Noah Khan. Wannabe debuted at number 11, Glorilla, Megan Thee Stallion. Shout out to them. Saturn SZA, number 15. Carnival, Ty Dolla $ign, Kanye West, number 17. Crocodile Tears debuted at number 19 for J. Cole. SZA Snooze, number 20. Red Rum, 21 Savage, number 25. J. Cole, Huntin' Wabbits, and Pricey at number 28 and 29. HYB, J. Cole, number 35. Act 2, Date at 8. 4 Bats with Drake, number 36. Cinderella, Future, Metro Boomin, Travis Scott, number 37. Ready 24, J. Cole, number 38. Yeah Glow, Glorilla, number 39. Fiend, Travis Scott, number 47. Sticks and Stones, J. Cole, number 53. Young Metro, Future, Metro Boomin, The Weeknd, number 56. Enough, Cardi B, Miami, number 58. Fever, J. Cole, number 59. We Don't Trust You, Future, Metro Boomin, number 61. P.I., J. Cole, number 62. Stealth Mode, J. Cole, number 65. Trey the Truth and Ibza, J. Cole, number 66. Nicki Minaj, Everybody, number 69. J. Cole, 3001, number 72. Going down the list. FTCU, Nicki Minaj, number 79. I think that's it. Let's Go, Keelak, re-entry, number 99. So that remix didn't really help with Young Dolph. Hope it does, though. But, yeah. That's it for today's episode of the Diverse Mentality Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed that dismantling of parts of Joe Budden's podcast. They should invite me to the podcast because I would completely cook all of them when it comes to actual facts. I don't care about your feelings. I don't care what you experienced when you were outside in 2010. I don't care about what you think is hot. We're talking about numbers. We're talking about facts here. Your opinion doesn't matter when it comes to facts. The numbers don't lie. So that's it for today's episode. Spotify, Deezer, Podcast, YouTube, all that. Stream us. Come on, man. Have an amazing night, day, whenever you listen to this, and peace.